welcome back to On the Record. I'm Robert Cohen. I'm here at Tech Data for the event with them, and we're standing this time with Ann Thomas, who's the National Account Manager for NEC for Display Systems and Digital Signage for the Americas, right?
That's right.
Welcome to the show.
Well, great. Good to be here.
Okay. So digital signage is something that's been around for years and years and years, but now it's finally starting to take off. And when I say take off, it's one of those like a hockey ramp, or a hockey stick where it's going, down a bit and it's flying up. Why are they intentional?
Well, there's a couple areas that are really driving the business. A couple specific verticals. One in particular is the QSR industry, which would be the quick service restaurant industry. Government is mandating that nutritional analysis be posted. And one way of getting that done is moving to digital menu boards. So that's a real hot growth area for NEC, digital menu boards. Also healthcare, corporations, and just going from the static boards to the digital menu board drives business. With the right content, really gets your message across.
How about retail?
Yeah, that's a big area too, retail. And in particular at retail, what's happening is going to the video walls. That's another hot growth area for NEC because we have, as well as others, have now the narrow bezel product. So when you put the video wall together, the bezels just disappear.
Which is great. And we're seeing that in the consumer world too, aren't we?
Yeah.
Yeah. So overall, bars out there, we have about 85,000 bars out there. My guess is that well less than 10,000 of them are doing anything on digital market, or for digital signage anyways. Why do you think that is?
That's a good question. And I'm here to help educate the resellers in digital signage. I've come with Tech Data and I came to their event early for the education workshops for digital signage. And I think there's a lot of bars that are getting into the digital signage business, but they're really quite not there yet. We're all on that growth pattern together and we're kind of learning together as we go in this game of digital signage.
Which is good. How were those sessions at the beginning? Were they well attended?
I thought they were excellent and they were well attended, but I had a chance to speak to some of the resellers last night and ask them what they thought. And they are all hungry for more information. They were good, but now they want to take it to the next level.
Well, that's fabulous. And it's great that Tech Data gives you that opportunity to do it. But to get bars to come out when they're already going to be here for the end of the week, and they have to come down, for Monday and Tuesday, was it?
Right.
So that meant for most of these people, they're giving up a whole week of their time. It shows that there's a real interest.
Yeah,
now
that's true.
what has to happen in the industry is that people like you have to go out there and be an evangelist, really make them understand. It's good for NEC, it's good for you, but it's good for the industry. We need to talk more about these types of solutions. I think one of the biggest problems that you have in digital signage is that the VARs aren't using their imagination. Like they're waiting for a customer to come to them and say, "Oh, can you do digital signage?" The customers don't know anything about digital signage. And if they see it in some place, it doesn't even, from an end user customer, it doesn't trigger yet in their mind and say, "Oh wow, if I did that in my store, or if I did that wherever it happens to be, that could really help us in this way." And the VARs aren't thinking that way. And until we get both of them, well, especially resellers thinking that way, so they can walk in there and say, here's a solution that won't cost you that much money, and here's how to drive revenue.
I think you have a really good point. Alan Braun was speaking in one of the sessions. He's the industry expert, if you will, Braun Consulting. And what he was saying is, you're not, to the resellers, what he's saying is you're not necessarily wanting to take your time to chase down your McDonald's business. Don't go for the giant win. Go for your existing customers. What you're saying is they all need digital signage, whether it's in the boardroom, or it's in the office, whether it's wayfinding, whether it's messaging throughout the company, whether it's the local school district. Take your existing customer base and bring in the digital signage solution. NEC's just come out with our CMS, our content management software, that is a no charge. So this includes your feeds like Thomson Reuters, Sports, AccuWeather, and again, it's a no charge. So you have a good point, is the resellers need to become educated so that they can see the various type solutions to take it to their existing customer base. So we're all in the growth pattern.
Yeah. If you look at it, if you go into any of the big towers, for example, and you go up on an elevator, digital signage has been there forever, and you know what? You know it works because we all read it, even if we don't want to read it. Now, an elevator is not really a good place to do it because people hate talking to each other on them, so they're always looking up and trying to find something. But the reality is that it's digital signage and it works. People read something, put it in their face, or they listen to it, or they see it.
Well, that kind of brings up another point, is you're talking about the content, that you have to have the right message at the right time, and that the content is king. And that was another big topic from Alan, that industry experts speaking to the resellers, helping them understand that content is king. You have to have the right message. NEC has just come out with a new service of content creation. So NEC is coming to the distributors, to the resellers, to the channel, offering the NEC services of creating content. Because NEC is the expert. NEC is the expert in digital signage. We know the proper aspect ratios. We know the proper resolutions. So we can create the content. We'll work with the reseller or the end user, but it is a revenue sharing business model. It's not NEC selling direct. We're creating the content and bringing the sale through the channel. So that's something we launched here with Tech Data.
So when you say creating the content, somebody else has to write it. NEC's not writing the content.
No, actually NEC is.
They are?
Yes. So we brought additional staff on site at NEC, and they specialize in creating the content for digital signage market. And that's what I mean, you have to have the proper aspect ratios and the proper resolutions. We have additional staff now creating that service, but not selling direct, selling through the channel.
Wow, that's interesting. That's a lot of manual work.
It is.
It's a huge
undertaking. And it helps the resellers, the SMB resellers. Most of them don't have the expertise on staff to create content. So this is helping them get the total solution for digital signage.
So if a VAR wants to get, but they have no idea what to do or how to do it, and they're sitting there saying, well, okay, what are the speeds and feeds? And you're sitting there saying that you don't need to know anything about the speeds and feeds, but you're in that argument. What would you suggest? How do they get started?
I would suggest go to the NEC website. We have a program called PartnerNet. It's our portal for all of our programs, and it gets you started with webinars. NEC does 3 or 4 webinars a month on various topics, including digital signage of the CMS, our new content management software, the no charge, and we have that coming up on 9/23. And 90% of the resellers that I spoke with here, they've already signed up to jump on the webinar. I've seen them on the various days through the week, and they come back and they said, "Hey, I signed on PartnerNet." Because they all are hungry for the educational information.
And it's so important. And the hard part for a VAR, I mean, we always put down the VARs and we say, well, they don't do this, and they don't do this, and they don't do that. But what they do is they fight fires, they know how to keep their clients up and running no matter what goes wrong. And they have 400,000 SKUs roughly in open distribution. Well, you know that because you come from distribution before this. And it's impossible. I mean, you were working just for a distributor, and I would guarantee you that you didn't know 3/4 of the products of what you were selling until you needed to. For a VAR, it's impossible. But they have to get onto the hot technologies if they want to make money, because A, margins are always a lot higher in new technologies. B, if they don't do it, somebody else is going to come along and do it for them. And that person's then going to steal the rest of the account away from them. And I guess the last reason why they should do it is because it's good for their customers. And we probably should start with that. Right?
That sounds about right.
Great having you on the show.
Great.
Enjoy the rest of the Tech Data event.
All right. Thank you.